Okay. So I've got this 2013 Crusader by Primetime RV here getting worked on, and I decided I'd walk the roof, and this is what we found. All right, well, I'm up on the roof of this RV here, and I am checking for any imperfections in the caulking. And now the wind is picking up, so I apologize if you can't hear me. But for the most part, things look pretty okay for being a 2013. I see some spots here where we got some cracking going on, and we're going to reapply some of this today. Up here there's a pretty good delamination. So rather than using the tape, I'm going to go for a liquid filler and get this all good and sealed up. I'm going to go ahead and seal that up well. That was just sitting just like that. And I'll push that back down there once I seal it. And all that jazz. And other than the roof being very dirty, it's pretty solid, but I did find this little spot here. You can see this abrasion right there. You know, it's only as wide as my finger, but look at that. It's all crunchy, soft right there. So that's some pretty good damage over just a little bit of abrasion. So I've got my shop broom and I've got some water. I'm not going to use any chemicals because I want to keep the integrity of what's there of a roof. I want to keep that all good. I feel like chemicals strip it more than help it. I don't want to do any harm. I just want to get it clean. I'm not going to put a whole lot of water in there, but I need to get everything good and wet so the bristles of the brush can do their job. So you can already see the difference of just doing the shop broom and how much that breaks up that road grime. Alright, so I'm going to get as much as I can and then give it a real good rinse and let this sun dry it out. Probably the only thing I should have done is not brushed it towards my own camper. So I've got the front pieces here good and clean. It's just drying, but I got more to do. Watch how much grime comes off of this. Look at all that. So we're getting all that loose stuff, all of it away, so that way that adhesive has something to hold on to when it's time for it to do its job. Alright, I've got all the seams all good and scrubbed, rinsed off with clean, good water. All the skylights are good and clean too, and the vents. And I even went ahead and washed that window. So I gotta let this wind and sun do what it needs to do. Get some of that good and dried out. And then it's time to seal it up. Alright, everything is good and dry. I've got some self-leveling lap sealant. That's what this stuff is for. And I've got 3 tubes up here. I've got 3 tubes in the shop if I need, but I'm gonna see if I can do this whole camper with all those. Got a bunch of rubber gloves so I can move it around with my fingers as needed, and we'll see how far we go. You can see that I'm pushing it up into that crack, and then I'll go back over everything. But I want to make sure it's up in there good. Yeah. So here we are. This was done yesterday, and now it's had the afternoon and the evening to set up. And I just figured I'd show how that worked out. I ended up giving a good bead of that lap sealant, and then use my gloved finger to spread it around and make sure that I had all of the pre-existing seam covered. And same thing here, and it self-leveled a little bit. You know, you can see where I worked it, but it did make sure I made sure that all of the existing cracks were completely covered well. And I made sure that all the spots that really did need attention were completely covered. So now I'll go over everything today and just give it one good once over to seal everything well. Well, even though I had a blowout with my last container, it ended up taking 4 and I've got everything all good to go. So I'm gonna let that dry up real well. I put an extra layer on that tear in the roof, and I'd say everything is good and coated. So there we go. It took 4 tubes to do the entire RV roof and cover every single bit of original lap sealant. So that's that. Thanks for watching, y'all. I almost forgot one more thing. So I've got friends all over the place from these tractors that I work on. They're wheel horses, if you didn't know. And we mentioned one time that I'm a flatlander, but look at all this. Look at how far you really can see. Isn't that crazy? You can just see forever because there's like really no hills. So that's that. Have a good day.